This video is brought to you by Hit Point Press and their deck of mini animated spell cards. These tarot-sized reference cards feature all the spell details you need on one side and beautiful, unique animations on the other. It's a great gift for the holidays. Learn more at animatedspells.com. And Steamforged Games and their Epic Encounter series. With just one box, you can run an awesome cinematic adventure that your players will never forget. Use our link below the video to see all your Epic Encounter adventures. Hello and welcome to the Gallant Goblin. It is getting really late in the season and I haven't brought you my gift guide yet. I am so sorry. There's been so much going on, but let's see if we can find some last-minute stocking stuffers for the gamers and your friend group and family. We'll have links to everything in the video description down below, and you can always check our Amazon gift guide at gallantgoblin.com/Amazon and our DMs Guild guide at gallantgoblin.com/DMs Guild. Both of those lists have some really great gift ideas. Now, most everything I'm going to show you today was provided to us by their respective companies, and thank you to each of them for sending them our way to share with you. And a lot of these items are available digitally, so you can get them at the very last minute. So let's see what I can scrounge together for your holiday. The very first thing is a seat at our table for a Jasper's Game Day event on December 31st. You can join me, Grady, and Richmond, whom you may know from the Glass Cannon podcast and the Lost Mountain Saga, Hailey Bell from the Party of Two RPG on Twitch, and our game master will be Jake Kile, the co-founder of Q Times. We have 2 seats that you can bid for, with the money going to benefit suicide prevention and awareness. Right now, as we film this, the bids for each of our seats at our table is less than $50 each. So if you want to come play a game with us and hang out, this is a great way to do it. We'll have the links to both seats in the doohickey down below, but time is running out, so come bid right now if you're interested. Now I want to talk about some board games. Before I got into D&D and Pathfinder, I played and collected a lot of board games. You've probably seen my collection behind me in some of my old videos and in our actual plays. Let me tell you about some of my favorites. Now keep in mind, since I started playing D&D, I have completely lost touch with the board gaming world, so these games are a little bit older. We'll start from the simplest games and work our way up to the more complex ones. First, let's start with a D&D classic, Lords of Waterdeep by Wizards of the Coast. I played this long before I got into real D&D, and it introduced me to this amazing city, not to mention owlbears, the Harpers, the masked Lords of Waterdeep. This is a great game to introduce your family to modern board games. It is a worker placement game where you have a certain number of agents whom you can send out to locations in the city to get resources and accomplish other tasks. But you're racing against the other players who may get there first. It is full of D&D lore, and it's a game that any group can pick up and play. It is not overly complex. And when you're ready to take it to the next level, you can pick up the expansion, Scoundrels of Skullport. The next game I haven't actually had the opportunity to play yet, but I played a ton of the game it's based on. The game is Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, and it is a retheming of Betrayal at House on the Hill by Avalon Hill. In this game, you are an adventuring party exploring Baldur's Gate and stumbling into trouble. Partway through the session of the game, your tables are going to get turned on you. One or more of the players may turn against the party, a big bad may appear, something crazy is going to happen to change the whole game, and that's the part that's memorable. Now, I hesitate to even call this a game. It's more of an activity. There's no real strategy involved, and it's kind of a mess mechanically, but it can be unpredictable and thematic fun. This is a game to play when everyone has had maybe more than a couple of drinks, and they're not really in the mood for a real competitive game, but it is a lot of fun in the moment if you're in the right mood. According to my rankings on the Board Game Geek website, my favorite game is Roll for the Galaxy by Rio Grande Games, and that sounds about right. Roll for the Galaxy is a pretty quick-to-play engine-building game in which you have a starting planet that gives you some special abilities, and from there you build a star empire alongside 1 to 4 other players. You collect special dice, which represent your populace, and you build new technologies, settle worlds, and produce and ship goods. If you can build the most efficient and profitable empire, you win, and you can finish a game in like 45 minutes. It is an awesome game. Next up the complexity chart is a game with a similar feel, but it definitely feels bigger, even though it's confined to one planet. In Terraforming Mars by Fricks Games, you control one of several corporations who intend to settle on Mars and terraform it into a more habitable planet. You'll acquire unique projects that you can do a variety of things on the planet, like introducing new plants and animals, raising the temperature, you can increase the oxygen level, you can found cities, you can create and expand an ocean, you can set up mining operations on various moons of the solar system, so many things. Every game you play is different, and your goal is to find the right combination of projects that all synergize together to make your corporation the dominant one on the planet. I love these engine building games. I like it so much that I picked up this big box on Kickstarter that comes with all sorts of beautiful 3D tiles. The base game is fun just as it is. And there are a bunch of expansions if you are enjoying it. These games range in price from about $35 for Lords of Waterdeep up to about $70 for Terraforming Mars. There are digital versions of all of them except for Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, I believe, if you want to play the games on your phone or computer instead. We'll throw links to everything in the video description. I originally intended this channel to be a TTRPG / board game review channel, but we never really got back around to board games. Maybe we can do a little bit more here and there in the next year if you're interested, but these 4 games should cover a lot of your bases and they all make great gifts. One thing that we haven't gotten a chance to review yet, but which has been a staple in my game since I got them, are the new WizKids battle maps. And we will do a review soon, I promise. These are 3-foot by 5-foot single-sided rubber-backed maps with 1-inch grids. If you happen to play on a 3-foot by 5-foot table like I do, they are absolutely perfect. And of course, they'll work on any larger table as well. Currently, you can get grasslands, forest, tundra, and ocean mats. Then all you really need is some minis to have a great battle. Of course, you can throw on scatter terrain, buildings, papercraft, little trees made for model train sets, whatever you like to jazz up the mats. But having them is such a lifesaver. They are about $65 each. They have some other ones coming out soon too, but these are smaller at 2 feet by 2 feet. You've got the magma chamber, the subterranean lake, the expansive cave, and the acid lagoon. These are also perfect to use with your negative space builds with your Warlock Tiles Cavern set, which we reviewed recently. I'm not sure if this video or that video is coming out first, but if that one's out now, you can see our review in the eye in the corner of your screen right now. These are still marked as pre-orders, but we're expecting them soon. They run for about $25 each. Pretty good, but probably don't expect them to arrive by Christmas. You know we have a lot of recommendations for DM's Guild, and you can see our growing list at gallantgoblin.com/DM's Guild. Today I wanted to highlight just one mainly, the Draconomicon. It is a great companion to Fizban's Treasury of Dragons that really continues to expand upon dragon lore in 5th edition based on the lore from previous editions. You get a ton of new dragon stat blocks and lore, including 80 new types of dragons, 10 new races, 25 new dragon-related feats, 44 draconic spells, more than 50 new magic items, and there's an extended DM's Workshop section to make your dragon adventures better than ever. And maybe the best part is that you can get the book as a PDF, a softcover, or even a hardcover like this. Fantastic book. And also, our own Grey Merchant of Asphodel is now available in a hardcover as well, if that's what you prefer. It is a great magic item supplement for the Theros book or any game that you're playing. Remember, if you're buying digitally, to use our links and the discount code HeraldGoblin5 to get a discount. If you're needing something last minute, digital products are the way to go. The new year is a great time to introduce a new game to your gaming group. There are so many great games out there when you're ready to branch out from D&D. Let's start with the big 2 that we talk about on this channel all the time. I find myself being drawn more and more into Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which feels like D&D the next generation. It gives you so many more options to customize your characters, and the world and the universe that Paizo has built just feel enormous and vibrant. You can get started with the Pathfinder Beginner Box, and then you can branch out into the small 3-part adventure, Troubles in Otari here, which we're playing right now in the Gallant Goblin Play series. Then you can graduate to the full 2nd Edition core rulebook and the Abomination Vault's Adventure Path. Paizo's done a great job with these products in onboarding new players. They come highly recommended. You can also pick up Starfinder, which really is Pathfinder the second generation, or the next generation. It's Pathfinder brought into the far future. I think of this rule set as sort of a mix between Pathfinder first and second edition. It's like a Pathfinder 1.5. You can get started with the Starfinder beginner box, and then you can move on to the core rulebook, and a great place to go from there is Junker's Delight, which is a short, standalone adventure. And if you're just wanting to get a taste of the Starfinder lore, which is fantastic, then you can, and if you have a Alexa-powered device, don't miss out on Starfinder for Alexa. These are great little stories and choose-your-own-path adventures starring Nathan Fillion from Firefly and The Rookie, and Laura Bailey from Critical Role and The Last of Us Part 2. There are 6 episodes in all, and it's well worth checking out. All right, some other great choices, and we haven't done full reviews of these yet, but if you're interested, please let me know in the comments below and we can see what we can do. We just lost Anne Rice, and if you loved that modern-day vampire setting, then you may enjoy Vampire the Masquerade, which isn't affiliated with Anne Rice in any way at all, but they evoke a very similar feeling. This is a great RPG that is well worth checking out. Another great classic is Call of Cthulhu, where you play everyday people who find themselves investigating the unknown. You play teachers, taxi drivers, librarians, doctors, normal people in the 1920s caught up in a Lovecraftian nightmare. We're up to the 7th edition now in this classic game. It is pretty easy to pick up and play, and you can get the starter box, which includes the essential rules, 3 starter adventures, pre-gen characters, dice, and even player handouts. Fantastic set. Another great game is Delta Green. To me, this is basically X-Files, the RPG. You play more or less modern-day FBI agents, doctors, historians, police officers, and the like who have been drafted into an organization known as Delta Green, usually after they've had some sort of run-in with the paranormal. In some ways, it feels like a modern-day version of Cthulhu. And the best part is that you can get their quick start guide with the essential rules, pre-gen characters, and an adventure for free. And if you like what you see, check out their 2 core rulebooks, the Agent's Handbook and the Handler's Guide. And the bundle of these 2 is usually sold at a discount. And another great option is the Witcher RPG. With both the video game series and the Netflix series taking off, the Witcher franchise is getting bigger and bigger, and this book is more closely tied to the video game series and the books, and takes place canonically between the 2nd and 3rd game in the series. This is a mid-tier complexity game, but it's more gritty and maybe harsh than your typical high fantasy D&D game. It explores themes that you don't necessarily see that much in D&D. If that sounds intriguing to you, they also have a free digital starter set that you can get at the link below called the Witcher Easy Mode. And 2 more if you want something even more off the wall. First, Blades in the Dark here, which is an innovative new RPG where you play a crew of scoundrels seeking your fortune in an original fantasy industrial urban setting. There are heists and chases and mysteries, rival gangs, vengeful undead, and a lot of emergent gameplay. This game will change up the way you play RPGs. It is a lot more focused on improvisation and off-the-cuff storytelling than it is about GM prep, and this book will help you learn how to do that. And the mechanics are way less complicated than even something like D&D. This is a game about speed and momentum, letting nothing get in the way of your storytelling. It is definitely worth checking out. And finally, maybe the most wacky game on the list is Castle Falkenstein. There is no way I'm going to be able to do this game justice in the short amount of time I have here. This is a bright, hopeful, colorful game that is set in an alternate version of the late 1800s. It is the Victorian age in Europe mixed with steampunk technology and magic and dragons and fairy lords and swashbuckling adventures. The world building is really extensive and it's unlike anything you've seen before, and the game is played with a regular deck of playing cards instead of dice. I'm hoping that one day we can play all these games here on the channel and give you a sense of them. But if they sound like fun to you, definitely go check them out in the links below. It is time to branch out and see what other awesome games are out there. And if you've played some of these before, please do share your experiences with us in the comment section down below here. Next, I wanted to share some cute little plushies and squeezies, for lack of a better term, that we recently received from Curation. They sponsored a recent video, so full disclosure there, but they're super cute and I think they make great little gifts. First, we have their plushies here. You know we love plushies. We have Ernie and Ella, the Igors. We have Thalia, Keeper of Secrets, right here. We have Rusty right here, and we have Donna, the dizzying phase cat, over here. Plus, they have these little random squeezy boxes. Series 1 contains different color Igors. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we have a little blue one over here, like this guy. So these are nice little squeezy things that are great little stress balls that you can have at your desk. And the little pink ones here are Series 2, and these contain different colors of Igors, mimics, and gelatinous cubes. So let's open a couple of these too. We have a classic green gelatinous cube here with a little sword and different necklaces and skulls inside, and oh, that's very satisfying. And this one has a little pink version of the gelatinous cube, kind of like our little creature here, Thalia. And, oh, this one has a nice mimic, a nice gold-colored mimic. That's very cool with a little chest and hinges on the back. Oh, if I can get the box to close. And we can put him over there. And finally, we have, a little gray Igor. So yeah, these are all random booster boxes. You never know what you're quite gonna get, but they're all nice and, I don't know, just satisfying to sit and have something to fiddle with when you're sitting at your desk. You can find all of these plus several other cool things at creaturecuration.com. I also wanted to recommend a computer game. This game, I think, can really help out your storytelling if you're playing a campaign in a medieval setting, if there's any kind of politics or regional conflict going on. Crusader Kings 3 is kind of unlike anything I've played before. You take the role of a noble of some standing in medieval Europe and live their lives and the lives of their offspring and so on. You can try to conquer territory or just see what happens. You'll get all sorts of story prompts and choices to make, personalities you have to contend with. The emergent storytelling that comes out of this game is just unreal. Go look up some of the stories that are out there from other players. From the queen whose husbands mysteriously kept dying until she realized that her twin brother was murdering them because he was in love with her, to the guy who reformed the Norse religion to include cannibalism so he could eat the Pope. It is all just wild and almost anything can happen. If you enjoy emergent storytelling and you want some inspiration for your D&D games, this is one to check out. Crusader Kings 3 is on PC and next-gen consoles. Another great little digital stocking stuffer is Arcadia Magazine by Matt Colville's production company, MCDM. Each issue features 5e content that you can use in your games. They have, as of this recording, 11 different issues. Issue 1 has an adventure for 5th level characters featuring a sapient magician's workshop that's come to life, a new sorcerer subclass, a big update on using mounts in 5e, and 2 high CR enemies to use in your games by our friend Sadie Lowry. Namely, a pair of fallen angels with a unique story. Each issue has content like that from some of the best content creators in the biz. You can swing over to Matt Colville's website to peruse them all and see which ones appeal to you, or you can become a backer of his Patreon to subscribe at a cheaper price and receive access to back issues too. And while you're there, his 5e books, Strongholds and Followers and Kingdoms and Warfare, are also great gift ideas for folks who are ready to take their 5e games to the next level. Go check them out. One aspect of the hobby that I really encourage folks to explore is miniature painting. We have so many fantastic unpainted minis out there from WizKids, Steamforged Games, Reaper, Archon Studios, and many, many more. And the idea of painting them can be a little intimidating, but it's much easier than you think it is. It's kind of a matter of just getting started. And a great little starter set are some of the ones from Nolzur's Marvelous Pigments. These sets come with 10 paints each plus an exclusive mini. You've got the Undead set with an Acererak Shipwreck mini, the Adventurer set with a Minsk and Boo mini, an Underdark set with a Drist mini, and a Monster set with an Owlbear mini. And the Monster set actually contains 36 paints, including washes, metallics, and more. The paints are by Army painters, so they're high quality. You can also get the various sets bundled with a Nolzur's brush set that includes a base coat, detail, and dry brush. And if you really want to go all out, consider two options for our friends at War Games Delivered. The Army Painter Mega Paint Set 3 here, which comes with 50 paints, including 5 metallics, 4 quick shade washes, and 2 effects paints. And their War Games Mega Brush Set, which comes with pretty much every type of brush you're gonna need. And hook them up with a WizKids Paint Night Kit at your local game store to have a fun way to get started with some professional instruction. I believe the next set coming out is the Ice Troll that's expected in January. And contact your local game store too, because they'll often have their own little mini painting events. I mean, let's be frank, it's probably going to be a bunch of Warhammer folks, but I'm pretty sure they'll let us RPG players sit at the table too. So go check them out. Now let me give you some gift ideas from our sponsors, which I probably would have included anyway because they're great. Let's start with Hit Point Press because they have a ton of great content. Let's see if we can hit a few items that we don't normally talk about. Right now they have one really nice bundle available at a discount, 7 decks of the Griffin Saddlebag cards. These are beautifully illustrated new magical items that you can add into your game. With these 7 decks, you'll get 365 new items. These are the same ones that you can find in the official Griffin Saddlebag hardcover book. So just decide if you like your magical goodies in card or book form, or both. Another great option is the Islands of Sina Una, a 5e setting book based on pre-colonial mythology and culture of the Philippines. It's over 250 pages long and contains not only this magical new setting, but 2 new base classes, 12 new subclasses, plus all the new sub-races, spells, backgrounds, magic items, and monsters you might expect. Not to mention new boat travel rules to get around the islands. All of these products, plus many others, are available right now at Hit Point Press. Next we have Steamforged Games. Their Epic Encounter boxes are such perfect gifts for the gamer in your life. Each box contains minis, a double-sided map, and an adventure book to lead you on a fantastic quest. There are 2 different kinds of boxes. Minion boxes, which include 20 minis in total. You can get goblins, kobolds, orcs, or serpent folk, among others. Or you can get a boss box, which includes 1 massive boss mini ready for a climactic battle. You can get a Hydra, a giant spider queen, a snake god, a frost giant, or an ancient red dragon. Each minion box adventure leads into its corresponding boss box, but you can get an individual box and have a ton of fun with it. They can be used as one-shots for a fun gaming night with whoever happens to be in your house that night, or they can be tied into your ongoing campaigns with lots of suggested adventure hooks to connect the stories. These are excellent gifts, but also don't forget their Animal Adventure series for folks who may love the idea of adventuring as little cats and dogs and other animals. You can get the Animal Adventures RPG starter set, which may be for the younger person in your life or just someone who prefers their adventures to be on the cuter side. We have a complete playthrough of the RPG starter set in the eye in the corner of your screen right now, so you can learn more. Plus, they have loads of cute dog and cat adventurer minis ready to paint and ready to bring to your table. You can find all of that, plus a lot more, at steamforged.com. Finally, we have a lot of fun stuff in our own web store. Lots of great t-shirts and mugs and caps, mouse pads, hoodies, stickers, and even a mini of our own goblin mascot. You can find our shop at gallantgoblin.com/shop. And over on Patreon, you can get exclusive videos, including our playthrough of Candlekeep Mysteries: The Scrivener's Tale, access to monthly Zoom chats with Grady and me, and a seat at my monthly Storm King's Thunder campaign table with some very special guests. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/thegallantgoblin. Let me know down in the comment section below if any of these ideas have stood out to you, or if you have some great gift ideas of your own, please let me know that too. Don't forget to go bid on our Jasper's Game Day auction to play a game with us while supporting a good cause. Our release schedule for videos is going to slow down here for the next couple of weeks as we travel to see family, but you can always come chat with us on Discord, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We have a ton of great content to share with you soon too. Please have a magical and safe holiday season, I'll be looking forward to seeing you all back here very soon. For now, please stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.